We were taught to hate Voldemort, the symbol of absolute evil. But what if he was actually a victim of a system more terrifying than Avada Kedavra, neglect, discrimination, and selfishness? Look at this child, an orphan, isolated, surrounded by hatred. Hogwarts saved him, but without love, without guidance. He grew up learning one lesson: power is everything. This system shaped him. This system gave him his weapon. Voldemort is a monster, but who created that monster? Why did no one hear that child's cries before he became the Dark Legend? This story isn't about magic, it's about our failure. In 1926, Tom Riddle was born from false love, the product of a love potion's manipulation. From the moment he took his first breath, his fate was sealed. His mother, Merope Gaunt, died shortly after giving birth, leaving him with nothing: no family, no warmth, no inheritance other than the blood running through his veins. Abandoned at Wool's orphanage, Tom grew up in a world that taught him one thing: power is the only language that is understood. In this place, children weren't just orphans, they were burdens. Punishment came in the form of whippings, isolation in dark rooms, and cruel words that drilled one message into their minds: they were worthless. But Tom was different. He had magic, a power that should have been a gift, yet only made him more feared, more isolated. Every time Tom used his magic to fight back against cruelty, he was branded a monster. But whoever taught him another way, whoever reached out to him, offered kindness, or showed him empathy. In this orphanage, there was no love, no guidance, only an endless cycle of violence, where fear slowly turned into hatred, and hatred grew into vengeance. A child is born innocent, but the world shapes him. And the world chose not to make Tom Riddle just another abandoned boy. It chose to make him a legend of darkness. When Dumbledore arrived, it should have been a moment of salvation, a turning point in Tom's life. A great wizard, a figure of authority, had come for him. But look closer. Instead of offering empathy, Dumbledore chose to test him. Rather than speaking gently, rather than asking what the boy had been through, Dumbledore took a different approach. With a flick of his hand, he set fire to the wardrobe where Tom hid his belongings, his small collection of treasures, the only proof that he had any control over his own life. No explanation, no reassurance, just a cold, calculated test to prove that the boy was indeed a wizard. For Tom, this was the first lesson he would never forget. Even good wizards use intimidation. Dumbledore never asked, "What have you been through?" or "Do you want to leave this place?" There was no concern for the scars that had formed over the years. All he offered was a ticket to Hogwarts. Not a home, not a family, not the warmth and love Tom had longed for all his life. So, was this truly salvation? Or was it merely the transfer of a wounded child to a different place, without ever healing his wounds? Now compare him to Harry. He was also an orphan. He was also outcast. But when his savior came, everything was different. When Hagrid knocked on the door of that shack in the middle of a storm, he didn't come with a test. He came with hope. In his hands was a simple birthday cake, crumbled and slightly misshapen, but filled with meaning. In his eyes, there was warmth, not suspicion. He brought stories of Harry's parents, not just as facts, but as memories. Proof that the boy had once been loved, that he had a place in the world. And most importantly, Hagrid gave Harry something Tom Riddle never received: the belief that he mattered, that he was more than just an abandoned child, that he was wanted, not just allowed to exist in the wizarding world. Hogwarts saved Harry. It gave him family, friends, and a reason to believe that goodness still existed. But for Tom, Hogwarts was never salvation. It was merely a stage to prove that the world deserved to be hated, that there was no place for weakness, that only power would keep him alive. Both were victims. Both lost their families. Yet only one was deemed worthy of being saved. And then we wonder, why did one become a hero while the other became a legend of darkness?